My name is Chelsea. I'm going to be teaching you Premiere Pro. So today is the first day of your training. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is we are going to open up Creative Cloud. We're going to open up Premiere Pro. I've already opened it up for you, just so that there's no slowdown or anything like that. We're going to go into New Project. So we can actually name our project right up here. We're just going to name it Adobe Training today. And then we can choose our location right here. So we're going to go into Browse. So you can choose to have it on your desktop if you want to find it really quickly, or under Documents, or whatever it is that you want to save it in. I've already created a folder for this specific class, so I'm just going to select this folder. And then we have our renderer. So for your renderer, this is what we use to tell Premiere whether we want to play back footage using the computer's CPU via Mercury Playback Engine Software Only option, or the computer's GPU. So the GPU is always going to be the better option. It just means that your computer can process through footage faster if your computer has the option. The rest of this you don't need to worry about for now. When you do get into more editing, then you can kind of focus on this a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to click OK. And now we are in Adobe Premiere Pro's main interface. So before we actually start getting into anything like any sort of editing or bringing in clips or anything like that, I'm just going to explain this in 4 main windows. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this for now. And we're just going to make this, there we go. Okay, so this is your first window. This is actually your project window. So this is where you import your media. You can choose clips from here. And then this is your second window. So this is your source window. So this is where you can actually preview your clips, and you can choose what part of the clips you want to put into your timeline window, which we'll talk about in a second. So there are a few things that you can clip up here, the tabs, sorry. So another one that we'll be focusing on today is our effects. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, but these are the main 2 that we'll be focusing on today. These 2 are a little more advanced, so we don't really need to focus on them today. The next window is our timeline window. So there is a lot that we're going to be doing here today. This is going to be our main focus. So this is where we actually do our edit. And you put all of your clips and your audio together to make your masterpiece. And then this is your program window. So this is actually where you get to visually see your edit. Down here, you're only going to see your clips and your audio clips. So you can't actually see what it looks like, but you can preview that up here. So you can also visually see your audio in this audio meter. So it will go red up here. If it's a little bit too loud, then you can just lower the audio, which I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far? No? Okay.
Pretty clear.
Perfect. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to import our media. So we're going to double click this window here. And we don't want to put this into our video, because this is actually our project that we're working on right now. So I'm going to click on this first one. I'm going to hold down Shift so that instead of selecting each clip on its own, then I can select all of the clips here. And then I'm going to open. So now all of my clips are importing into this folder. So now you're going to see different little thumbnails on each one. So what does this mean? These ones with just the video, this is actually just a video clip. The ones with the video and the little audio meter, these are video and audio. And then these 2 are just your audio. So it's pretty straightforward there. So now I kind of want to organize this situation here because it is a little bit messy. So we have bins down here, which are basically folders. So I'm going to create a new bin and I'm going to label it video. Okay, and I'm going to close this. Otherwise, you're going to end up making another bin inside of that bin, your folders. And we're going to make another one. We're going to name it audio. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of my videos. So remember, we're clicking the top one and then we're holding down Shift and clicking the bottom one. And we're just going to drag it into our videos. And again, click, Shift, click, and the audios. Okay, so you can make as many folders as you want. Sometimes when you're doing a big edit, you might have a lot of clips. So you might even want to make subfolders under your video or under your audio, and you don't have to name them video and audio. You can name them whatever you want. Like maybe you've got some B-roll clips or some face shots. So you want to maybe just have them under that so that you can just find them real quick. So next we are going to pick a video. Okay, so I'm going to double click on this video right here. I know it says audio, but it is actually video. And we're going to see it right up here so we can preview it. So does anybody know how to play and pause a clip just from your keyboard? So how you do that is you just press the space bar. So I'm going to press the space bar, it's playing, and then you can pause it. So this makes it really easy for editing. So if you just have that in your mind that you don't need to click the play and the pause button, it'll make it a lot easier for you especially with quick edits. So we're gonna play this. So maybe we're gonna actually choose which part of the clip we want to put into our edit right now. So I wanna start right here. I'm gonna click this mark in, or on your keyboard, you can actually just hit the I key. And then maybe we wanna stop it right about here. So we're gonna click the O key or the mark out. Okay, and so now this is the only portion of the clip that we're going to be putting into our timeline. So we have a few different options here. So we've got either dragging our video only, we can drag our audio only, or we can drag both our video and audio. Is that clear for everybody? Do we have any questions so far?
No, it's very clear.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Sorry, I know that this is very confusing and it's a lot to learn. So I'm just gonna stop every once in a while to make sure that everybody's got it. All right, so I'm gonna drag in another clip just to show you again. So we've got audio 2. So this is gonna pop up here. So we can preview our clip here if you want to preview it quickly, if you don't have a lot of time, you can just do this. Or you can press the space bar to play or stop. Pretty straightforward there. So let's mark in here and we'll stop it right about here. Okay, so I want to drag in the audio and the video. All right, perfect. So next thing that we are going to do is we're going to take a look at our timeline window. So here's our timeline window. It's separated into 2 sections. We've got video up here and we've got audio up here. So before we start playing around with these clips, I just want to talk about the different features of our timeline. So right now you see only 3 video tracks. We can actually create more. So if you just drag up your video, then you're just making more tracks here if you need them. Sometimes we do layer different video tracks and audio tracks and stuff like that. So you might need quite a few tracks. And then it's same thing with our video tracks. So you can just keep making more. All right, perfect. And next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is when we do layer our video tracks, you won't be able to see here. I'll do a different one so that it's a little bit easier to tell. Okay, so as soon as this track comes up, then you're only seeing this track. I know that this track is a little bit smaller. I'm gonna show you how to fix that a little bit later. But if this track was the full screen, you wouldn't be able to see this track down here. So the reason that this is whatever the clip is that's on the top is the clip that you are going to see. So if you wanted to blind a track, we've got all these eyes here. So let's say you've got a bunch of tracks up here that you're trying to put into your track down here, or for whatever reason, you don't want to see this track. Okay, so now we can see it. If we blind this, if we just click this, it'll have a little stop mark on top of your eye, and now we don't see it. So now the track is gone. All right. So it's not the same for our audio. I'm not sure why I can't hear my audio here, but I can go over this in the next class a little bit more. I'm sorry about that. I'm just having an issue with that today. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is locking our tracks. So sometimes you will have an audio track connected to a video track if you pull both of them in together. Remember, we pulled this one out separately, so it's actually not connected to the audio one. Is everybody clear so far on what I'm doing? Does anybody have questions? No.
So far.
Okay, cool. So let's say that you want to separate this audio track from, this video track from this audio track because you want to move the audio somewhere else, like maybe you're doing a voiceover or something like that. So I'm actually gonna click this and I'm gonna lock this track. Okay, and now I can move this over to wherever I want. And I actually can't move this track at all. So even if I click on it, it's not going anywhere. So this is actually very helpful when you are doing edits and you want to, like, you've got something already made up here and you're working on something down here, just to make sure that nothing happens to your track up here while you are editing, because sometimes your clips can be connected together. Then you can just lock that track and then nothing's going to happen to it. All right, so next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is right here, we have this audio one. So I just want to talk to you about what this is. So it looks like a tab. So you might have a few different tabs sometimes while you're editing. These are called sequences. So in order to create a new sequence, we are going to right click in our project window, and we're going to go to new item and sequence. So we don't need to worry too much about this situation here. We're just going to go to settings. Okay, and the first setting that we want to get into is custom, so that we can do our own custom settings. Okay, so our time base is going to be different per country. So my country is in Canada. My time base is 23.976 per second. So I've actually gotten a photo here for you. So NTSC is the 23.976 frames per second. CCAM and PAL, so these are just like your country base frame rates. So it's what they use typically for frame rates is going to be 25. So if you just have a quick look at where you are in the world, see if you're NTSC, CCAM, PAL, and just make a mental note on whether you are doing 23.976 frames per second or 25, or maybe you can write it down just to make it a little easier for you. And you can actually look this up on the internet as well. Okay, so next we are going to do frame size 1920 and 1080. This is our regular HD. We want to do square pixels and no fields progressive scan. So this just prevents you from having a bunch of weird artifacts. And then this is okay right here. This is okay right here. And then we want to go down to QuickTime in our preview file format. We want to go to ProRes 422 HQ. Okay, so the reason that this is this format will allow your footage to play through a lot quicker. And then we can name our sequence. So let's just name it sequence 2 for now, and we'll click OK. So now we have a whole new sequence and we can find it right here. So for this training video, we actually don't need the second sequence. I just wanted to show you how to make one. So we're just going to delete it. And then we're back onto our regular sequence. Does anybody have any questions about that so far? Okay, so you can probably guess that our sequence, because we didn't really have an option to do our sequence settings in this particular sequence. So you can probably guess that our sequence settings are not proper for this particular sequence. So now I'm going to show you how to go through and create our settings in this sequence. So we're going to go to sequence settings, custom. So it's on 24, so we want 23.976. Okay. We want 1920 and 1080. Okay, we've got our square pixels, no fields, these are good. And then QuickTime, 422, and we'll hit OK. And don't worry about this. Now you're going to see that it's named audio 1, so that's kind of weird. The reason that this is audio 1 is the first clip that I put into this particular sequence. So just by default, Adobe named it the same name as that first clip that I put into here. So over here, we can actually just change this name. We can change the name for anything. So let's just name it Adobe Training. Okay, so now we've changed the name over here and the name is changed right here. So the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is actually all of your tools that you're going to be using. So all of your tools are right here. There's only a couple of them that you'll actually be using for basic editing. So the first one is your selection tool, which we've had on the entire time. So if you want to know the shortcut to any tools, I actually have put them into, so this is the shortcut screen. It's not loading for the moment, but I have put it into your little slideshow that I created for you. So every single Adobe Premiere Pro shortcut key is in there. If you really want to learn them all, I'm just going to give you the basic ones that you'll be using the most today. So the first one, selection tool, this actually makes it nice and easy to move around your clips without doing anything to them. And on the ends here, if you go to the end, then you'll see a little red arrow. So you can make your clip shorter or you can make your clip longer, but you can't actually make your clip any longer than the regular clip. So the only reason that we can make these clips longer is because we haven't used the full clip. But once you do get to that point of how long the clip is, see, I can't make it any longer, then that's it. Okay, so the next tool is our razor tool. So the short key for this tool is C. So for cut, basically you can just cut anywhere on your clips here. So I can cut here, or I can cut here. Okay, so I'm gonna press V after I cut, and either I can delete this. So I just hit my delete key or my backspace key, or I can move this somewhere else on our time frame. Okay, or timeline, sorry. The next key that we are going to use is the type tool. So what we do with this is we can just type here, and the type tool is T on your keyboard. We can actually type something here. So we're going to type hello. So there's a lot of things that we can do with this type tool. So now we are going to have a look at this because I just want to show you a couple things about our type tool before we move on. So in here, we're going to go under Essential Graphics. So this is our type. So we typed in hello. So if you click on this, sometimes this will be, you won't have anything down here. You just have to click on this. So you can make this go to the right or to the left, down, up. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. You can choose what kind of font you want, all the different font, things that you would normally pick. You can choose the color here. There's a bunch of different things here. There's shadows, background, stroke, all these situations here. There are also presets for you to choose from if you would like. So these different presets will actually give you like a fade in or something like that. So they'll give you just like a little effect with it. Whereas if you choose your own text, then you're going to have to choose your own effect as well. Is everybody clear on that? Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. So next thing that we are going to talk about is the track select forward tool. So this is actually not over here. So you will need to remember which one this is on your keyboard if you are going to use this in your edit. This just makes it a lot easier for you to edit, is the A button. So you'll see two arrows popping up here. So this actually just makes it so that everything you want to select forward. So everything that kind of comes after this, I know that this starts over here, but the rest of it comes after it. You can bring it forward or backward, whatever you'd like to do. So instead of taking each specific clip, oh, sorry, now it's all highlighted. So instead of taking each selected clip forward or backward or whatever, this is just the easy way for you to do this. And see, now this isn't in my selection because it's all the way back there. Okay. Next is the rectangle tool. So this is your R key. So we can either do R or we can do Control R. So when we do Control R, we have to make sure that we are highlighted on a clip. So let's actually do this one. We'll bring our playhead over here so that we can actually view it on our program window. We're going to hit Control R. Okay, so I can adjust the speed up here. So the speed is going to either make it slow motion if you make it lower than 100%, or fast motion if you make it higher than 100%. You can also pick to reverse the speed and do a couple different things in here. Mostly you'll just be doing either slow motion or fast motion or reverse speed. So I wouldn't worry too much about this for now, unless you really get into editing. It's a little more complicated things. And we're going to click OK. And then if you just click the R, you can actually just make it faster or slower right here. So let's take a look at, I'm going to hit Control Z, which is our undo. So let's just play it for a second here. Okay, so that's how fast it is right now. So I'm going to make it this fast. So you see how much faster that is now? Or we can make it slow motion, whichever you would like to do for your video. So the reason that this key comes in very handy is because when we are editing to music or anything like that, sometimes we will come across a certain beat or sound or something that we want to have the next clip going into. So say like my beat is right here, and I want another clip to be happening right here. So I'm gonna hit the R button, and I really want this to be fast forward. And I'm just gonna bring it in right here, if Adobe will work for me. And then we can have our next clip going on here. And then you don't have to go through trying to figure out which speed makes the clip go to that specific spot, or shorten it or elongate it or whatever it is. Okay, so next thing that we are going to talk about is our marker tool. So this actually comes hand in hand with what I just talked about with finding a beat. So your marker tool is actually just the M on your keyboard. So when you do have music or something on your track, say it's a very quick beat and you're having a hard time trying to cut to it or whatever, you might just want to listen to the music, and you can just hit the marker tool whenever that beat comes along. Okay, and then up here we've got our marks. So when we do go to slice something, so we're going to go back into our razor tool, it actually gives us the option to slice right on where that mark is. Or if we've got our tool to make it fast forward, then we've got our option to do that right to where that mark is. Okay, does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, makes sense.
Yes.
Perfect. So we're gonna go, sorry?
Chelsea, yeah, this is Priyanka. I have a small question.
Yeah.
Like you showed us, to how to, I mean, slow down or you can fast down the video. Is there
Yeah,
any option for zoom in and zoom out as well?
zoom in and zoom out of the video.
Yes.
Yep, so we're actually gonna go over that in just a little bit. It's actually just in our effect controls. I just don't want to confuse you guys too much.
Okay.
I'm just trying to go through in sections, but I will get to that in just a few moments.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So next thing that we are going to talk about in this window is our playhead. So this actually directly translates to our source or our program window, sorry. A nice thing about this is we have our magnet tool. So I guess it's the snap and timeline tool, but I call it the magnet tool because it's got a big magnet here. So what this does is when we are moving clips and stuff like that, it makes it a lot easier to move them right together. So if we've got this magnet tool off, then it's a lot harder to snap our clips right back together. Okay. So I'm actually going to put that back on to put this back together. And then this playhead as well, if we are using, like, let's say our cut tool, if we cut like sorry, I've got my marker here. So let's say that we are a little bit off the cut and I'm like right here, it's actually going to cut right on our playhead for us because Adobe knows that that's where we are intending to cut. Okay, so now I'm going to do the Control Z. I'm going to hit V again. And we are going to now go over some of the effects. So first thing that I want to go over, which video was it? Oh, so now that we have changed our settings, it actually changed our videos to how we would like to do that. Or to our regular settings. Instead of this video, remember, was smaller in the screen. Now it's fit the screen. So the way that we can make the video bigger and smaller, more zoomed in or more zoomed out, is our scale. So this is going to zoom it in, and this is going to zoom it out. So now it's gone, now it's bigger. And then you can go side to side. Okay, and down and up. We can actually rotate it. Okay, and then we can make it opaque so that we can sort of see it, not really see it. And we can actually increase and decrease our volume level here as well. So this is our volume right here. And we've only got these amount of effects for now, but I'm going to show you how to put more effects onto this video. So going to, oops, go back into, oh, there we go. There we go. So our effects, if you ever lose something, just try to go up or down on the screen. So we've got a whole bunch of different effects in here, okay? So we've got presets, lumetri presets, audio effects, audio transitions. So you're mostly going to be using video effects and video transitions. You might use a little bit of audio effects if you're a big sound person. So you've got like reverb, echo, all these different things, volume. And then we've got the transitions, crossfade. So constant power is what's going to be used the most. So this is actually a fade in, which you'll probably be using at the beginning and at the end of your video. So what you can do, again, I'm sorry that you can't hear my music or sound right now. It's just an issue with my computer, but I will have that fixed for next time. So it's just going to fade in. So anytime that you want to put a certain effect onto your timeline, you just drag and drop it onto whatever it is that you want to put it onto. Okay. And then we can make this, if you want to see your timeline a little bit bigger, then you can drag this on the end here. Okay, and then we're going to make this smaller, or we can make it longer. So this just drags out the effect or makes the effect very quick. Okay, so I can show you that on the video effects. So we're going to do a blur, camera blur onto, actually we're going to cut it first so that I can show you a little bit better. Okay, so do a camera blur right here. So now the camera is a little bit blurry. Okay, so maybe I want to change how blurry it is. So now that we put this effect onto our clip, the effect is right here. So, whoops, we can make it less blurry or more blurry, whichever one you would like. So I kind of want to make it just a little bit blurry. And then next we're going to go into our transitions. So obviously there's a whole bunch of different effects here that you can kind of play around with. Our transition is going to make this, instead of just a cold hard cut, see how it just goes right into our sharpened image. It doesn't really look that great, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to go to dissolve. So most of our transitions that we're going to use are going to be in dissolve. You can play around with these other ones. I personally like these ones the best, and these ones are definitely the most popular. But I definitely urge you to kind of play around and see what works the best for you. So cross dissolve is actually the most popular transition that you are going to find on Adobe. So most people use it. So we're going to put that between these two clips. So now when we play this, it actually transitions it so that it's not just a jump from the blurriness to the sharpened. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Very clear.
Okay, perfect. Next thing that I'm going to show you is just a quick, I'm going to show you the cross dissolve starting from the beginning. So if you start from the beginning, then it's actually just going to go from, oh, sorry, we're going to get this video out of here. I'm actually just going to delete it. So just quickly goes from black and then it fades in. So these are the different options that you've got with crossfade. Again, there are a lot of different options here that you can use, cross dissolve, but cross dissolve is the most common and probably the most easy for you to use. Next thing that we are going to talk about here is how to export your video. So now that we have, I know that this isn't a real edit. We are going to do a real edit next time, but let's say that we are finished with what we are doing and we want to export this. And Priya, did I clear up what you were asking?
Chelsea, it's Priyanka. Yeah. It's
Oh,
pretty
Priyanka.
clear. Yeah,
Okay,
it's pretty
awesome.
clear. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, perfect. So now that we want to export this, we're going to go to File. We're going to go to Export and Media. So I'm not actually going to do the export right now just because we are on video and it does take up a little bit of, it's a little bit hard on the computer to export it. And I just don't want to be too hard on my computer right now. But I want to go through exactly the settings and all of that that we need to do to export it. And we'll just do like a quick little thing here. So basically what we are going to do is we're going to pick our format and our preset. So these two are actually really, really good for YouTube, which is typically the format that you want to be exporting in anyway. If you have a different format that you want to export in, you can actually look it up on the internet, like what is best for that particular format. Sorry. So next we can do output name. We can pick what we want to call it, and we can pick where we want to put it so that you don't lose it somewhere. Because we all know what it's like to try to save something and lose it on your computer. So we're going to save it right here. Okay, and then you don't have to worry about the rest of this because this is all just getting into more complicated detail. But this is basically your basic export here. Okay, and then you'll click export. All right, so the next thing, I just wanted to tell you guys real quick, where I get my stock footage from is on Pexels. I don't know if you guys have been using Pexels, but I get pretty much all of my videos from there. I just download them and then I just plop them into here. I did put a link to the place where you can get some stock music as well if you wanted to put music into here. And then, yeah, I put all of the keyframes up on there as well. Do you have any questions or do you want me to go over anything again?
Mike?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
So my question is about, you know how those fancy, you know how some YouTubers, they use this introduction that has like some sort of smoke graphic. Um, is that like a stock video, or how do you actually make those?
So there are a lot of effects and things like that that you can buy. So there is stock stuff that you can find on the internet as well. But either they find it in here, or if it's not in here, then they are buying it. So once you buy them, then you can add them into your Adobe and you can use them. I haven't bought any because I haven't needed to use them, so I don't really have them for you. But yeah, you can definitely buy those, or sometimes you can find them for free. It just depends on the graphic.
Would they, like, for example, if I'm just curious, like, how do you actually make those videos specifically without buying it? Would you use a different tool, I'm guessing?
Sorry, like a smoke graphic. So
like, for example, like one of those 3D like icons type of thing, and then there's a smoke, type of effect on YouTube. Usually, it's
yeah,
usually
sure.
used in
So
YouTube introduction. Yeah.
yeah, so there are presets and things like that. So you can use different presets. You can add them onto your video. I haven't really done a whole lot of stuff like that. So I've typically made like commercial type videos, or when I did work for a rafting company, it was pretty much just videos, like sort of like, I mean, not exactly like this, but I can definitely look into that a little bit more for you. It's just not something that I've done too much of, but I do know that they are using presets.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Chelsea, it's Priyanka again.
Hi.
So, yeah. So, other than the paid version, is there any free version where we can get like hands-on experience of all these, stuff?
For Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yes, yes.
So I know that you do have to pay for Premiere Pro. I think that there is the first 30 days free. Don't quote me on that. I'm not positive. But I do know that when you do buy Adobe Premiere Pro, if you cancel your subscription, I did look this up recently and I'm going to try it pretty soon as well. And you say that it's too expensive. After you've paid for it for at least the first month, then you can actually get 2 months free after that.
Oh.
So hopefully that's a little bit helpful. I know it is an expensive program to have just to practice. I personally really love editing in my free time, so that's why I buy it every month. But yeah.
No, yeah, it's really great. It's really great. Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. It's, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. Like I just have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I can see that. That's why I was curious if there is a way or a playground where I can try all these tools and effects.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can sorry, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here. I'm not sure if I can actually give you like my password or what, but I mean, I'm happy to share that with anybody who wants to try to edit a little bit or whatever. If you want to try it out, if you can't get the 30 days free or whatever, just let me know. You can get in contact with Paul and maybe I can give you my username and password for you to kind of try it out a little bit. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Anybody else? No? Okay, well, it was really great getting to teach you guys today. Thank you so much. This is my first time teaching Adobe, so I hope it was pretty clear. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm not sure if anybody else wants to talk about anything, Paul or Andre. No.
I enjoyed the class. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It was really good. Thank you so much, Chelsea.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It was
Chelsea.
great. It was great.
Thank you. I'll see you all on Monday, okay?
See you Monday.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Okay, no worries. Bye.
Thank you.